Hello, this is wmpyr. Welcome to Beginner's Eskrima Part 2. Last time, what I showed you guys was, the first one was doing the 5 angles of attack. This form that was basically 5 techniques put together. The second thing that I showed you was circular strikes, okay? And the third thing was this, the figure 8 motion. So those were the 3 things that I covered in the last video. Instead of showing you new material, okay, I like to expand upon what I've already shown you so that you can become proficient at this stuff, okay? So in this video, I'm going to only have time for one thing. So we're going to focus on the 5 angles of attack. Let's become better at doing that, all right? So the first thing that I want you guys to really focus on, okay, is when you're doing the 5 angles of attack, make sure that you connect number 5 and number 1 together into a continuous motion. And what I mean by that is don't do it like this. Don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's like, okay, you take a small break and then you go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I want it to be continuous, so it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see, there's no end. If you're looking at it from a distance, you don't know when's the beginning, you know, and when is the end. It just continuously keeps going. And that's exactly what I want, because the important thing about this is the ability to connect techniques together, okay, to go from one technique to the next. That transition is very, very important. So what that means is you should be changing the order, okay, and connecting different techniques together. So go with a diagonal of a stab, go with a horizontal and a stab, a diagonal and a horizontal. So you should be mixing them up. Change the order and work on transitioning from one technique to the next, okay? That will take some time and experimenting and exploring on your own, all right? The next thing that I want to talk about is you're going to notice that actually with the 5 angles of attack, there are some angles missing, all right? So let's talk about that. The first thing is we have this diagonal strike. Okay, that's no problem. And then the next one is we go into this horizontal strike, which you see I'm going to the right and then I cover the same direction back in the other direction. So we should do the same thing for the diagonal strikes. Okay, so the diagonal strikes go like this. So they're coming from the top. So that means we should have diagonal strikes that go from the bottom like this. Okay. So that's one thing that's missing. The other thing that's missing is if we have a horizontal strike, I think it only makes sense that we have a vertical strike, okay? Now, if we go from the top, then we should also go in the other direction, so we have the bottom vertical strike, okay? So those are the two things that's missing that's very easy to spot, which is this diagonal strikes from the bottom, and then this vertical strike from the top and bottom. Okay, so add those to your arsenal. And the other thing that I want to talk about is these are other angles that are missing in that form is the square, okay, or what I call the frame, or aka square. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a square, all right? So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I just drew a square in this direction, and of course if you're going in that direction you could also go the reverse direction, which will be this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back in this direction as well. So that is the square, the frame that definitely increases more angles of attack for you. So please practice that stuff, and it definitely increase your understanding and your proficiency of the angles of attack. Thank you for watching, and keep training.